Hello and welcome back to Seaside Garage. I'm going to continue on the Trabant today. I was actually expecting to work on the brakes because I got all the brake parts now, but I realized that it would be a good idea to change the bushings on the rear swing arm right in there before tackling the brakes, because I'm not really sure how to do this, but it seems to be easiest to remove the entire assembly, and the brake lines are attached to those, so there's no reason to put on new brake lines and then take it all apart to take that one out. So today I'm gonna try to do that. I don't really have a manual for this car just yet, so I hope to be able to understand how the system works and take it apart. There is a spring in here. There is a transverse, I think it's called, leaf spring going from one wheel to the other. Working on springs is dangerous because there is a lot of tension involved. So yeah, maybe the way I do it is going to be wrong, but I'm going to be careful either way. What I'm going to do now is that I need to take this strap off. Let me try to show you that. Right now, with the car up in the air, the amount of travel downwards for the is it called a wishbone? I'm not sure about that. But the amount of travel going downwards because of the spring pressing down is limited by this strap that goes around the axle and up. So this makes sure that the entire assembly doesn't just come apart, or that the suspension strut is not holding the force of the spring, because it's not designed for that. So what I'm going to do to begin with is to put a jack underneath here, push up and remove the strap, loosen up the spring up there, or the suspension, not suspension, the damper, of course, the damper, and then I think we can lower it slightly and take the tension off the leaf spring, but I'm not sure, so we're gonna try. And I just want to lift it enough to take the tension off that bit of strap, like that. So what do you think? Will it snap? Snap cam. It is turning, but I can't really feel if it's snappy turning or turning. Oh, it feels really snappy. Let's check. I think the entire assembly is spinning. I wonder if there is a bolt head on the inside of the car. I was expecting it to be a stud, but I think there is something on the inside that we can grab a hold of with a very long arm. Let's check that. Oh, yeah, at the moment it's used for storage. Yeah, as you can see, this is the damper that we need to loosen up, and this down here is the spinning bolt. Let's see if it will snap. Nope, this feels right, and either way, if it snaps, it's not a big problem when it's designed this way. I was really expecting it to be a stud. Let's go out there and see what happens if we lower the jack slightly. So we would like to lower it until it actually releases from there. I don't think it's stuck to it in any way. So let's see what happens if we lower it slightly. Oh yeah, we got air in between there now. So it looks as though the pressure is now relieved from the strut, from the wishbone. I'm really not sure this is the right way to do it, and also it could end up being difficult to get back together, but we'll see about that. There's not so much pressure involved, to be honest. It doesn't seem that way, at least. But it's at least loosened up now. Now we should, I think, be able to loosen the knot up here and at the front of the wishbone, and then lower the entire assembly down. Like that. Did you see that? There's some water in this car. That came out from the from where the bolt gets into the car, and I think that the entire structural frame right there is full of water. That's good and bad, because it's bad that there's water in there, but we know why, because of the very, very bad seals on all windows and doors. It's good because it means that it's not rusted out. So I'm gonna cut the brake line in here because we're gonna change it, and then take the entire assembly out. Like that. Like that. And now we should be able to just pull the entire assembly out, I think. Like this. So here we have the assembly out of the car. I have just put a rubber glove on the axle stop to make sure that no dust gets into the bearing, because that's no good. I don't know if the bearings are good though, but no reason to destroy them on purpose, at least. I am going to clean it with a wire brush. I was considering painting it, but I'm not gonna. This is not going to be a concourse restoration, remember, not yet at least. Right now it's all about getting it MOT'd and paying the taxes to be road legal in Denmark. That's my goal for it. So yeah. And while being in here, it seems to be a very good idea to change the brake line and take this apart and put the new brake hose on it before putting it back together, because it's so much easier right now. Well, this actually turned out to be wrong, because, well, it's right put together, it's the right combination and so on, but this one should be put onto the pressure divider in the middle of the car before so, and that seems to be in a very difficult position, so I think I'm gonna take the other side off now and then have a bit more access to take that point out and then fit everything back together. So I'm gonna rip out the other side the same way as I did this side, and then take you back. So I have now taken off the other side as well, and now we have a bit better access. This right in there, which is difficult to see, is the divider of brake pressure, because this line goes to the master and then it divides to right and left rear tire or wheel. As you can see, it's difficult to get at, especially with a wishbone on both of those mounts. By the way, the other one was full of water as well. It would be even easier to take off the exhaust system, but I'm going to try to do that without. I just need to take that assembly off, change the brake lines, the brake hoses. Then the brake line I will most likely also attach going to the front, and then we can fit that to the wishbones when we reattach those. Let's see if we can get a hold on of this one. Yeah. I already cut the line up there, so I can just take the entire assembly off now. This video was not supposed to be about the brakes, but sometimes the tasks merge together and you can't really do one thing without also doing the other one. Like this. Now it's cleaned. At least the inside is clean, the outside is just brushed off. I have plugged the ports that I'm not going to use right now to avoid getting crap into those. This one is what goes onto here. And actually I don't have to take it off now because I can spin this on. But on the other side I will have to remember to not put the hose onto the line right there before this is attached. Because if not, then I can't spin it. So yeah. And then of course it would make sense to actually put this one in as well. Like this. Next up, it's the rubbers that we need to change. And this metal thingy that clamps it all together. This one was actually the reason why I started to change these. And it turns out that it's not even that bad. It is cracked, but most of it is that rubberized skin that you use to rust protect with. This is actually all right, but we're gonna change them anyway. Now we have taken everything off, and it would be stupid not to do. So let's take out the old rubbers like this, and then put on a new one. Like so. And up underneath right here. And then this one on top of here goes on the car itself together with a brand new ball. And then the same procedure on this one. This is it. I think we can put it back on the car now, actually. So that is nice. And then before installing the new bolts, I'm going to give it some grease because who knows? Maybe one day in the future I will take all this apart and paint it and restore it. Probably not, but still, it's just a nice practice to grease stuff up that could be taken apart in the future. And then I really hope that I can put it in the rear pivoting point and then pivot it up and press it against the spring with the jack. That is what I hope to be able to do, but I don't know. There we go, we got that one started. After a lot of struggle, it seems to have actually worked. I put in the bolt in the rear one first, no one in the front, and then I started to lift it up, making the suspension hit the hole up there. And now I have just slightly threaded this one and I'm going to force it all together. I think it works. I doubt it's the right way, but there is most likely some kind of special tool involved in this and I don't have that, so maybe it's okay. It was definitely quite a struggle. I expect it to be easy on the other side because I'm not going to fight with that much tension because this is already pushed up. But let's try it out. And then I need to do it all the same on the other side. And then we should be good to go. I'm gonna keep on struggling. See you in a minute. This is it. Let me show you the progress we made today. We now got new suspension rubbers on all, and yeah, I know I call these wishbones because yeah, they have pretty much the shape of a wishbone, but it is not called a wishbone, it's a trailing arm. So sorry about that. But now it's all good. The bad thing about all this is taking all the old rubbers out made me realize that they were actually fine. I just changed them because they looked so cracked, and I know that would be an MOT fail, but actually it was caking from the undercarriage protection. But let's not talk more about that. Now it's all shiny and new, and that is cool. Also, we got that brake pressure divider installed there. I need to install the brake line on the other side. And yeah, that's it. And while laying under the Trabant today, wrestling with it quite a lot, this was more difficult than I was expecting. But I noticed one thing that I know that some of you would think is pretty cool. I do, that's for sure. Take a look at this. This is the handbrake cable. And right there is a grease nibble. So you can actually grease your cable. That is just so much of a do-it-yourself kind of way of doing cars. And I love that. But either way, this is going to be all for this video. Next video, I can continue on the brakes because now I have the trailing arm sorted, which makes it possible to install the rest of the brake liner and all that. So thank you for watching. And remember that you can support me on Patreon if you like. That way I can buy some more wrong parts for my cars. That would be very nice. Oh, and by the way, all Patreons gets free stickers for their car, Seaside Garage. Either way, thank you very much for watching and see you in the next one.